that were unable to attend today. They really wanted to be here, but it didn't work out. But they wanted to tell everybody hello and how much they all miss you. So I just wanted to pass that message along before we get started. Okay, so it looks like we are good to go and we're up and recording. That's great. Thank you so much, Mike and Mary, for taking care of that for us. We have an agenda, so hopefully you all have a copy of it. We are going to start with an opening prayer, and Patrice is going to be doing that for us. So Patrice, can you please come up here?
Okay.
You're in good hands.
Okay, this is not my thing, so I'm going to do the best I can, and everybody just... Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank everyone in the group that's worked on taking care of closing down the church. It's been a long and arduous job, and there's a lot of women behind the scenes and men that have worked tirelessly on this. And we'd like everybody to think with their hearts when they vote. And thank you for taking us to practically the end. Amen.
Amen. Well, I think that was pretty good. Okay, so I have Debbie, Jerry, and Joe that have volunteered to distribute our ballots. So we have our ballots up here, so if you could please come forward, and there's also pencils available. So what I need is for, if you are a current Trinity Lutheran member and you have not joined another congregation, please raise your hand up. They will give you a ballot, and if you need a pencil, they can give you a pencil as well. And then we're going to confirm that we have a quorum, which our quorum is 10%. I'm pretty sure we're there. Yeah. One of you can just hand out the pencils.
So are you having raise their
Yeah, raise your hand up if you need a ballot.
Raise your hand high, because we're counting. You're counting.
Okay.
There you go.
Take a pencil. Just have one.
And what I want to do is I want to wait till you all have a ballot in your hand, because we're going to go over this ballot in detail just so everybody fully understands the concept of what's happening. Oh, and I forgot to call the meeting to order. No, 11:13. Did you bring anything to write with, Patrice?
Yeah, she's going to give you a pencil right.
Did you bring something to write on for notes? Because we have to take minutes.
Anybody else?
Oh, myself.
Can be.
One more.
Okay, as soon as the ballots are all distributed, we'll start going over the voting matter. Make sure you take one and Okay, so what we want to start out with is this is pursuant to the Trinity Lutheran Church Endowment Fund bylaws. And what the bylaws state is if Trinity Lutheran closes, all assets of the TLC Endowment Fund shall become property of the Pacifica Synod of the ELCA. So it is already written in our bylaws where this money is to go. Okay? However, upon congregational approval, the Pacifica Synod of the ELCA has agreed to transfer the assets of the TLC Endowment Fund to the Spirit of Joy Community Church Endowment Fund rather than retaining the assets. So this is something that we are very excited to hear, because we feel like if it comes to the Spirit of Joy Endowment Fund, we can have more involvement. That's why it's a very good thing for us. So on your voting, the first option is I vote that the assets of the TLC Endowment Fund be transferred to the Pacifica Synod of the ELCA and thereafter transferred from Pacifica Synod of the ELCA to the Spirit of Joy Community Church Endowment Fund, and the actual endowment fund may differ in name slightly. I also authorize the Trinity Lutheran Church Council to execute and file all documents necessary to dissolve the corporation after this transfer occurs, because we cannot dissolve the corporation until this money has been transferred, because we can't hold any funds. Number two, the assets of the TLC Endowment Fund be transferred to the Pacifica Synod of the ELCA and not be transferred to the Spirit of Joy Community Church Endowment Fund. I also authorize the Trinity Lutheran Church Council to execute and file all documents necessary to dissolve the corporation after this transfer occurs. So this is a situation where the money would go to the Pacifica Synod and would stay with them. They would actually create a committee to run it, a board to run it, and we would have some members on that board participating, but they would also have members on that board participating. So it's a little bit less controlled than if it were to go to the Spirit of Joy. Now, the other option is number three, which is other, and that's where you can fill in if you want it to go elsewhere. If you want that money to go to another endowment fund at another church that's, an ELCA-sponsored church. Obviously, the Pacifica Synod has to agree whatever that other may be. 50% of the vote or more is what's going to determine this. So a 50% vote for one option or more, that's where it's going to go. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on this? Yes, Bonnie?
How long will it take for the Pacifica Synod to transfer the funds to Spirit of Joy?
I don't know the exact timeline, but they are already prepared. In fact, Pastor Tom Bullrich sent me a text message yesterday and asked, when are we voting? And I said, it's tomorrow after the service. He would have come, but he's actually going on sabbatical. And so I said, okay. He says, well, I need to have you notify me when you've made your decision. And I said, certainly, I will text you as soon as we're done. And so they're already prepared. They already have a plan in place. They've already talked about it with the powers that be, and everybody's in agreement to make the movement quickly and swiftly, because they know, they've already assured me, we don't want your money. That's not what we're after. We want you to be able to do good things with this money, and that's what you've been doing all along. So they're very excited about this. And just so everybody has a little background, Spirit of Joy just recently voted and approved their bylaws to create their endowment fund. So with or without us, they're going to have an endowment fund, but wouldn't it be nice if we could take our money and make it very strong and healthy? That's how you want to think about it. And a lot of us are becoming Spirit of Joy members, so it's like it's continuing on with our group. I'm going to ask Mary to come up here. She is our current president, and she's going to go ahead and give you some information.
Thank you. As most of you know, I've been on the endowment fund on and off for years. Can't be on the council and the endowment at the same time. It's obviously a conflict of interest. But I have many, many years of experience working on the endowment fund, and I am thrilled that we've come up with this agreement. As Danielle was saying, we didn't know years and years ago when we wrote those bylaws that the wording said if we merge with another ELCA church, we can take the endowment fund with us. Most of us joined, but we didn't merge. That's what we're doing. We're joining, but we didn't make a merger. So technically, that we can't use that avenue. I can't just give him the money and just start up, So after talking to Ryan Bouchard, our lawyer, our generous lawyer, who's very generous with his time, he recommended we stick with our bylaws. So we're following the rules. I have been talking to Bishop Dave Nagler, our bishop of the Pacifica Synod, for more than 2 years about this, knowing that this time was going to come. He reassured me years ago, and again when Danielle and I were at the Synod Assembly, we talked to him again, that they're not really interested in taking our money from us just because of that technicality. Since most of us are here, they would like to see our money stay with us so we can control it locally. That's my goal too. We love what we do. We were just able now, because of the amount of money we actually donated to ourselves, if you remember, out of the sale. We now have just under $500,000 in there. And we were able this year to give out $24,700 total. Each student got $3,000. And local, you're welcome. For those of you that know, students are also our grandkids, and students from even Spirit of Joy were welcome to apply. Unfortunately, we didn't have any graduating seniors from high school or college students who applied from there. But as we get the news out more over here, I'm sure we'll get a lot more. So I'm looking forward to that. The help that Ryan Bouchard has given us has been amazing. We're planning to give him a gift at the end because he's not charging for all his time. I gave them a copy of, I met with the council here and I gave them a copy of our bylaws, and they pretty much copied them exactly the same way that they're written, only they have their name on it, of course. After we close our corporation, we will not have an EIN number, so we can't even legally have those funds. So they said it'd be fine as long as you guys run it, because we don't know how to do it. And I said, well, we'll be happy to help. At least those of us that are on the board right now can continue. And we have one member who couldn't continue, but we have enough. As I talked to Attorney Bouchard, he said, well, why don't you just join the Spirit of Joy right now and help them write their bylaws? And I said, well, then I can't vote. He says, does that matter? I said, well, sort of. After thinking about it, I thought, that's probably the right thing to do. So I went ahead and joined. So now I'm an SOJ person. So I can vote today, but I hope I influence you that you would vote for the one that has, we will move the money to, to the Senate. They will hold it temporarily till they're ready here to receive it. They've already finished their bylaws. They've been approved by their congregation. The president and the vice president are sitting right back there. If you don't know them, they're Mike and Lyle, and they are very interested in what we're doing. They also had, in order to keep us running it, they needed to vote a temporary slate of officers if we vote for this. So they went ahead and voted who they would want. And it was mostly those of us who are on our board right now. And I will give you their names. They've already approved that if they do get the funds, then Teresa Berg, Debbie Simmons, me, Mary Russ, Renee Paulson, who's our treasurer, and the slot being filled by the absent person that can't do it is Carolyn Straub, who many of you know Carolyn. She's here now, but she used to be with Trinity. And she used to work with the endowment board sometimes, so she's familiar with it, and so that's kind of a perfect match. So we'll continue for the rest of this year as a temporary slate. The reason it's temporary is because now 2 of us will be SOJ right now. But as soon as we're done closing the corporation, we had planned to have everybody join together because we're going to have a party. I'll come to the party anyway. And so we'll be SOJ and TLC members mixed together for a while as our temporary board, but by the end of the year, we'll probably all be SOJ people. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. But I really think the most important point is that we want to keep it local. We want it to go to the Senate and then come back here so we can continue our good work we've done with that fund for so many years.
Does anybody have any questions for
Any
Mary?
questions for me? Bonnie.
Can you give us the dollar amount?
The exact number right now, I didn't bring it with me, but it's like
Close.
4,900. I mean, 409. Okay, let me start again. 490 something thousand
Wow.
dollars. Yeah. So yeah, Yeah, it's a lot of money.
If you remember, when we did our voting for our distribution of our funds, we gave $300,000 to the endowment fund. So that made it a very healthy fund. Yes. One thing I did also want to talk to you about is if you decide to go with other, and you have a different option you want to select, I would ask that you please also include that you authorize the Trinity Lutheran Church Council to execute and file all documents necessary to dissolve the corporation after that transfer occurs, because we have to close down the corporation. Otherwise, we are subject to liabilities and so forth, and it makes us very vulnerable. So that's a step that we have to do. So if you decide to choose other on your ballot, please include that last sentence that's on the other two options that said, I also authorize Trinity Lutheran Church Council to execute and file all documents necessary to dissolve the corporation. So after this transfer occurs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and vote. So go ahead and complete your ballot. When you're done, you can fold it up and you can place it in one of these hats up here. If you would like to stay in your seat, you can raise your hand up and our ballot people will collect your ballot from you. Have their vote turned in? Okay, nobody needs more time. We're going to have our ballot people go back there and count the ballots, and while they do that, we're going to have our video presentation. This is our TLC Legacy donation video. And I want to say thank you for Mary, because Mary was the one who came up with the idea of how special it would be to have a presentation that shows the money that we gave away and the people receiving it. And thank you to Teresa for all the work she put into making it very special. So we're going to go ahead and play that video now. Copy of it, you can take your time and actually read through those thank you letters. It's very touching to see how appreciative these organizations are to receive the funds that they did. So we can all feel good about that. This is our work that we've done, and the Lord has used us to give money to these other groups so that they continue strong. So we owe a round of applause to ourselves. Okay, so thank you to our ballot counters, and it looks like we had everybody vote for the money to go to the ELCA and then on to the Spirit of Joy Community. It's unanimous. So that's fantastic news. You guys excited back there? It's better than starting at zero, right?
We already studied.
Okay, so let's see where we're at next. Awards presentation. So that's going to be Mary. Yeah. Okay. Do you need help?
Yeah, I think I'll use my husband to help me. He's going to hand these to me when I need them, right, Mike? As some of you know, most of you know that every year for a few years now, several years, we've been handing out Trinity Angels to people who do a lot of work for our church. I got one in 2023, and I keep it on my shelf all the time to remind me. It's really kind of fun. And there was so much work done in the last year and a half. It's unfathomable to even think about what it was like to close a church. I don't want to talk too long here because I know we have to get out of here, but I had a nice lunch with Pastor Tim Phillips, who was the minister at Trinity for a long time. And he's up north now, where my granddaughter and my son-in-law are here today, where they live, and they go to that church where he still serves as the senior pastor for the senior citizens. Huge church, beautiful church, St. Matthew's in Walnut Creek. Anyway, I had lunch with him. He said, most ministers have no clue what it's like to close a church, because by the time you're closing it, you don't have a minister anymore. And those of you who have been working on the council, we did it all ourselves. We ran that church for like 7 years, getting pastors every week. And thanks, Karen, for a lot of the times you came. And, it was a lot of work, but it was work for years and years of work. But this last year and a half getting out of the buildings was a tremendous amount of work. There were literally boxes to the ceilings, big paperwork, sales of things, documents we had to go through and screen and shred. And others that we had to keep, or we had to share it out because they don't want all our pictures of all of our, whatever. They want some, but they don't want them all. They didn't have room down at the Synod. Originally they said they had to have 4 boxes. Yeah. A church that's 111 years old can get everything in 4 boxes? Don't think so. So I won't get into all the detail, but there was a lot of work done. And once we lost the buildings, what was left, we hadn't finished, they all came to my house. So I had literally 3, 4, 5 people in my house every day for weeks on end, sifting through stuff and shredding. And, we had fun, we laughed, we ordered pizza, but it was a lot of work. Anyway, so, and people like Teresa are hard to find. Whenever I need something I can't do, I just didn't have time to do any more stuff. Teresa was my backup, and she's got that knowledge and ability on the computer to put things together. Didn't she do a beautiful job on that video? Amazing. And she did the one also for the 100th and 11th party, the big, celebration. So she's really good at stuff like that. So I just wanted to tell you there's going to be a few more angel statues today to give out than normal. But, and your name's not on them, they never are, but you will have this to keep. And this little angel this time says, thank you on the top. And it also says, never forget the difference that you make. So it's something you can remember, So I'm real proud of the way these turned out. I didn't know that I would end up making these myself. I even got my neighbor to help me stain the wood, and I didn't make the angels, but I ordered those. But it was really fun, and it's fun for me because I already have one, and I can give them away now, so it's kind of fun. Okay, so with that, I'm going to call names of people that I've had people help me make this list, but some people aren't here today, but I would like you to come up. And the first set of people I'm going to call are the Art Council. We had numbers of meetings between meetings on Zoom. It wasn't once a month. It was a lot of meetings and a lot of talking back and forth to lawyers, and we're still doing it. We're not done yet, but we're almost done. So Danielle, come on up. Just going to hand them out, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
And you can stay standing if you want. Yeah, we'll make a nice long line across here, because I have 15 names, but they're not all here. Jack Simmons, our Vice President. Thank you, Jack. Joe Neely. She served as secretary for many, many years. Jack, come on back. You get to stand here for a little while. We might want to take a picture. Maybe Teresa. Thank you. Patrice Johnson. Yolanda Woodruff would be here if she could. Just give her a hand. But she's getting this video, so she's going to know we clapped for her. And Veronica. So Veronica and Yolanda, thank you. Sherry Hazard. Thank you, Sherry. Come on up. She's one of our energy bunny energizer. Yeah. Whenever I need something done, she's always right there. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Okay. Next one is Debbie, the second most energized person I've ever known in my whole life. Debbie Simmons, what would we do without her? She would probably put more hours in than anybody here, including myself. Close, yeah. And she's amazing.
Her middle name is Trinity.
Okay, Teresa Bird, come on out. Come on, Teresa. We'll let you go back there and get somebody to take a picture afterwards. Okay. The next one is Kathy Fuller. And can't be here today. Some of you know she's going to church now at Prince of Peace, but she would have come with Priscilla. Priscilla was going to bring her, but she is fighting cancer right now, and she has to have something put in. You would know, our nurse would know. So they don't have to inject an infusion to put in. And that's coming up like tomorrow. She's on a special diet and she's not allowed to leave the house for several days so she can get her chemo. All right, so, but I will take that to her. She's looking forward and anybody that wants to come with me, we'll go visit her. Bring her some flowers and bring her her angel this week. I told her we would do that, so. Okay, Mike and Lynn, come on up. You have helped so many times. Come on. They're at my house, they're at the church, they're wherever. Yeah, they will step in and help constantly. Christine Denton. Let's cheer for Christine. She's not here today. Thank you, Christine. I have to tell you, she's also got a medical procedure tomorrow. She couldn't come today, but she has worked unpaid, cut pay, then for free, many hours that we never paid her for. She was always like that anyway. Our church secretary, you don't know it maybe, but she was always going beyond. She was always staying late after work. She's just that kind of person. She loves our church, and it's just been a great pleasure to work with Christine. So, but she'll be back. Jerry Engelhardt. Jerry, where are you? Jerry is a past president, a past vice president. She stayed on council and helped, and she's still helping by volunteering. She and I both come and help volunteer. Sometimes we don't vote because we're not on the council, but we try to help because, there's not a lot of past presidents that are still around. I think we're the only two, I'm not sure, but unfortunately we lost some of them, didn't we? Quickly, recently. And then the last one I want to give one to, and he's not here today, is Pastor Rex Wignall. Yay! Let's cheer for Pastor Rex. I'll give him a copy of this too. And he came to all our council meetings and all kinds of meetings and did all kinds of work. And then he didn't want to get paid. And we begged him, but he got paid some, but he did a lot of hours of work for us, prayed for us, came to our meetings, did our prayers, did all kinds of things for free. Amazing man. And he was pulled in lots of different directions, and not like he had nothing better to do. He is a very busy, retired Methodist minister.
No such thing as retirement, right?
No, there's no such thing as a real retirement, right?
Not when you love the church.
Yeah, not when you love the church, exactly. Okay, so that is it. This is our group, and can we have one last round of applause for our community angels? And can I get you guys to all get up here closer? And
What was some?